This is me, and I make some of the coolest VFX fighting videos on the internet. And today, I'm going to make this video into this. In only 6 hours using Blender and After Effects. Let's get right into it. Alright guys, we start off by adding our plane and an armature as our reference. Then we use the Blender add-on Geoscatter to automatically create our environment, which is really smart, and you can also animate the trees and the bushes from there with only one click, which is really convenient. Then I add a dirt material to our plane. I start sculpting the plane, creating a really nice environment, also creating a little hill over in the corner which looks really nice. Then I add some more bushes onto the plane using the Geoscatter tool again. Also some really nice rocks around the area, big and small, to differentiate a little bit. And some humongous trees as well to the scene, creating a little gap so there's place for the moon in the middle later. I got the trees from the Botanic Blender add-on, where you can also just animate it with one click. From there I used the Sketchfab add-on to Blender, where you can just drag in 3D models from the internet for free, right into your scene. I found a really nice mountain and I just put it all the way in the back, right in between the trees. Then I went into the shading tab, got into the world output, and then I added a sky texture, which just places a sun. And you can see it already looks really nice. Now I just needed a background for the sky. So I added in a really big plane, put it all the way in the back, and then I chose a picture for my liking. As for the fog, I just added in a really big cube, and then I used this node setup. Now I just had to record the video using this really nice setup here. Then I rotoscoped it in After Effects, exported it as a PNG sequence, enabled images as planes, which could be found here, and import it into Blender, and there I am. Now I just have to readjust the plane a little bit so it matches up with the camera and the armature that I placed. Then I played around in the settings in the shading tab so I fit into the scene. From there I just had to add in some camera movement, where I also used the add-on Shakify, which is free and really good. And there we go guys, the render is finally done, and all we have to do now is put it into After Effects and add all sorts of cool effects to make the scene look more realistic and cool. I started off by rotoscoping myself again. You can also just render yourself in Blender, turning the background off, but that takes too much time, so I just used the rotoscope tool again here. Then I imported some lightning from productioncrate.com and played a little bit around with it. I then tracked both of my eyes so I later could add on some cool effects on them. Then I used light rays on the moon, creating a really nice sky and vibrant moon. I also wanted to light myself more up in the back from the moonshine, so for this I used the effect Crate's Light Wrap, which is also a free add-on onto After Effects that you can download for free. And guys, for the eyes I also used light rays, and trust me, it's going to look crazy when we add this other effect. And the effect that I'm talking about is light burst. And all you have to do is put the effect onto an adjustment layer. Then there's only 2 or 3 settings that you have to adjust on, and the results are absolutely amazing. And if you look on the screen right now, you can see that I'm turning black and white, and what I'm using is find edges. And what this effect does is that it turns you all black. So I apply find edges to the scene, and then I take 4 or 5 frames, and then I switch between find edges on, find edges off, and combined with light burst, it creates this insane explosion full of colors. And it is really good when you want a transformation like this to go boom, here we are. Now I just fine adjust the lighting so it looks better. And guys, this is really important. Now you want to download a dust template overlay on YouTube, and then put it into your scene and put it over your character. Apply Lumetri color and turn down the temperature so the dust becomes blue. And from there you want to change the opacity of the dust layer so it only shows when the lighting is there. And that looks really cool, and you can see it right here. And now I pre-compose everything, and then I add an adjustment layer. I add what's called a slide control to the layer, and then I go into the position, I'll click the watch, and then I type this. And then you find this little twirly boy and you drag it onto the slide control. And from there you can adjust the wiggling. And remember to drag the parent and link onto the adjustment layer so it applies to your scene. Also remember to add motion tile to the scene layer so as the wiggle doesn't give any black bars. And as you can see, I finished rendering and it looks really good with the compositing. And now all I have to do is add sound effects and some music. Thank you so much guys for watching. I learned this idea from this guy, so check him out as well. If you have any questions, just ask them down in the comments and I'll answer. Thank you so much.